the aim of a relationship is not to make you happy or miserable. The aim of a relationship is to teach you how to love, because when you love, you feel happy. Relationship is not going to make you happy. And then more, you yourself face challenges. You're not always on a high. And your partner is not always on a high. So how can we expect that a relationship is always going to be on a high and they live happily ever after? That's such baloney. Nobody has only ups and no downs, because through the ups and the downs, that's how we can learn about ourselves, about love, loving ourselves no matter what's happening, learning to be calm.
Yeah.
The aim of a relationship is not to make you happy or miserable. The aim of a relationship is to teach you how to love yourself, how to love another being, because when you love, you feel happy.
Emotionally unavailable.
Okay. Well, it's so nice to meet you. Before we start, do you pronounce your first name Lise?
Yes, like please,
Okay.
Lise.
Just wanted to make sure. I'm gonna turn your volume up a little bit too. I'm having a hard time hearing today. Okay. Well, it's so nice to meet you. I just read your profile again, and I also saw where you interviewed with I would call her my friend, Catherine. But I would love to start with you telling me about your heart freedom method.
Yes, the Heart Freedom Method has been a work of love. It's a combination of doing mind body work and gratitude work since 1989. So, my background,
Wow.
I was a holistic chiropractor, and I was doing NET, neuro emotional technique, and from doing it with my clients, like as a chiropractor, we calculated how many sessions I've done, probably 126,000 over like many, many sessions since 1989.
Yeah.
So I know what works and what doesn't work. And I wanted to go deeper. Like NET is great, but you need to be face to face with the person to do the muscle testing. And I wanted to go deeper. I wanted to really heal the heart. So I combined NET with doing gratitude work, which becomes more of a spiritual journey because of that. And then in 2003, I stopped being a chiropractor and I started being a coach. And I had a client in Madrid, and I couldn't do muscle testing, obviously. It was
Right,
too
right.
far. And I was so frustrated because I realized he was stuck. He was blocked because of a subconscious belief that was getting in his way. So necessity is the mother of all invention. And putting things together, I found a way of doing the mind body work remotely, using the person's body and accessing their subconscious mind, so that the moment they created a belief, the moment the belief got stuck, it pops in their memory, and then they can observe it, and then we can dissolve it. And it's super powerful. It takes 10 minutes,
Wow.
15 minutes. You can get rid of all kinds of beliefs. Like 2 weeks ago, I had a couple coming to see me, and the woman um was really upset with her husband because she felt like he didn't want to have sex with her. And she wanted
Yeah.
to have sex.
He's like,
And
hey.
what's going on? But I know better because I've had this before with other couples. So I turned to her. I'm ready, willing, and able to love my husband and have sex with him. Mm-mm. Because subconsciously, when she was a little kid, she saw her mom and her dad fight all the time, and it was so scary because her mom was so emotional. She promised herself she will never make herself that vulnerable. So
Mm.
now she had kids with him. She loved him, But, she was afraid, like, if she had the whole package, that it would be too vulnerable for her. And this is something that's really interesting is I've been doing this, like I said, since 1989. And I would say 99% of the time, either people can have an open heart with their mate, or they can have great sex, but an open heart and great sex, it's like the ultimate frontier because it's too scary. What if
Oh
I
my
get
God, you're
engulfed?
speaking to a person who struggles with this. No, like I've just
You're not.
unraveled this in my own life where I have not figured out it's weird because I know I'm doing it, but I haven't traced it back to the heart yet to have the big awakening and go, that's why I'm doing it, whatever. But just recently I've realized that um some of the ways in which I view my husband are purely just to protect myself. Like I don't want to trust him. I don't want to trust him. It's not because he's given me any reason not to trust him. Now, a prior version of me believed wholeheartedly he had given me lots of reasons to not trust him, and it's so embarrassing to say that, but, like, he hasn't. He really hasn't, but in my world, I took these little things and I built a mountain out of them, and I've realized lately, like, he's the person that I still have the mile-long wall between. Like, I'm so dissolved with other people now. I can get deep in the trenches with them, but with him, I am still having trouble trusting him, and I know in my heart I don't fucking want to. I don't
Well,
want to trust him.
you're not alone, darling. You're not alone. Like, I can tell you,
God.
most of us watch our parents, and often in the traditional marriage, the man was the powerful one that made the money, came home, and dictator what happened in the house, and then the woman was subservient, and she would be crying and upset because the man was not so nice to the mother, and so you're a little girl, and you're watching your mom, and you go, I'm a girl like my mom, but I never, ever want to be that vulnerable. And so we, at that moment, put a curse on ourselves.
God. You're
because,
right.
because our heart wants to love. Our heart always wants to love. That's when we're the happiest. But now your subconscious mind, and I always, like those of you who will be watching as well as listening, I always use the yin and the yang. And
Yes.
what most people don't know is 90 to 95% of what we do is actually pre-programming our subconscious mind, not to sabotage us, to keep us safe. And when your subconscious mind associates more pain than pleasure, or more danger than safety to something you want, it won't let you have it. It will hold you
Yeah.
back. It will quote unquote protect you, which is fine if you're a little kid, but now you're an adult and you want the full, Monty, you want an open heart, connection, love, like that deep intimacy, and it won't let you have it because there's great danger. In the back of your mind, there's great, great danger for you in doing that. And that's why I love romantic relationship. Like I'm married. I got married not this August, the August before. I've been with my man
Oh.
for 7 years. And it's the greatest gift there is. I really wish it on everybody. To have an open heart and a good connection on all planes, to be with your best friend with chemistry is the greatest gift that we can have. And it's quiet. It's not scary. I don't feel scared. I actually have a podcast called Soul Worthy Love on YouTube. And
Oh.
yeah, it's pretty good because I'm writing a book about that. It's called Love is Safe. If it's not safe, it's not love. Because so many people are afraid. That's why, for me, a romantic relationship is a spiritual evolutionary tool. A
Well,
romantic
and it's
really,
been my biggest tool for my
yes,
spiritual evolution. That's
yeah,
the only way I've been able to see my shadows is through my romantic relationship. It helps me to integrate that learning in my other areas of life, but truly it wasn't until I was examining my relationship with him that I realized we're way off track here, sis. Like it was bad. It was, but I mean, it's fine. I'm really not. I don't care about anything I've done in the past because it got me here. But I do wish it was not so hard to figure out the blocks because I know it's there, but I don't know where I mean, I do know where it came from. I've never seen an example of a healthy relationship in my entire life, but particularly the relationships that I saw as a child were violent. And so, I mean, when I say child, earliest childhood, but also all the way up. I mean, until my mom died, I was seeing nothing but violence in her relationships perpetrated by both her and whoever she was with. So I know where it was created, but I'm having trouble understanding why I can't integrate the learning better because it still feels so real. The shit I've made up about him and us still feels real. I haven't been able to dismantle it completely, but I can know I'm making it up. But I just can't figure out how. You know what? Does that make sense? It's so hard for me
Well,
to describe that.
this is my area of expertise. I bring the how. I bring the how. At least you're aware. Most of the people don't even realize that there's a problem that's coming from a story. So at least you're aware. It's like, okay, I'm aware. But now most people don't know there's a tool, and it's the heart freedom method, which is why I'm so passionate. That's why I go on all these podcasts, because I want to bring, this tool into the world, because I believe, like, I love helping people have more love, more money, more career success, more friends, whatever, more health, losing weight, gaining weight if they want to. But ultimately, what I want, ultimately, is by having a generation of adults who know this kind of work. They can raise little kids who know
Yeah.
since they're born that they're worthy of love. And that's my ultimate
Yes.
goal, is because nothing happens to us. Everything happens for us. Everything happens for us to grow in love and wisdom. And if everybody grew up with this knowledge, then we could really heal the world. And by healing people's connection to their heart, that's how you end wars. Like, you cannot go and tell someone
Yes.
you're doing it wrong, because then
Mhm.
they say, like, back off. But if
Yes.
you, me, everybody starts healing their heart, when like, sometimes parents will bring me their kids because they're being bullied at school. And I do the work with them, but then I ask them a question. I say, who is going to kick a dog? A happy person or an unhappy person? And they go, oh, an unhappy person. I go, yeah. So people who are mean to other people are people who are disconnected from their heart. So the solution to all the challenges we have in the world is actually to bring more self-love. Because that's why I was
Yes.
saying, it's like, a romantic relationship is a spiritual evolutionary tool, because the only way you're going to be happy in love is if you learn to love who you are, if you learn to love another person. And if God is love, then learning how to love is a spiritual evolutionary tool. So it's an amazing way. And like you said, like, this is the ultimate frontier, because we can learn to love ourselves, in social settings, family, or and like at work with money. But then the last bit is with our partner, because what if I love this person with all my heart and it ends? What's going to
Yep.
happen to me? Because that was another woman who brought me a husband for me to fix him. That's often what happens. Women brings me their husband to fix him because he's wrong and she's wrong
Yes.
ultimately. So
I feel seen in a gross way.
so it's so often. And she brought him to me again because she was right. She wanted to have sex with him and he couldn't get an erection. So obviously she's right and he's wrong. So I know better. So I test her first. I'm ready, willing, and able to make love with my husband. And subconsciously she didn't want to make love with him because 3 years prior he had had a stroke. So what would
Oh,
happen to me if I loved him with all my heart and he dies and we have good sex? I would be devastated. And when I
yes.
tested him on, I'm really willing and able to make love with my wife, he didn't want to hurt her. He said, what would happen if we do this and then I die? So even though this is what I love, like in a relationship, there's always one person that looks like the good guy and the other one like the bad guy, but actually the traits serve both people. If you're staying in
Yes.
a relationship, if you're staying in the relationship, it's because it serves both people. So
Yeah.
that's why I love working with relationship. I have a really good free resource. It's called Happy Relationship Checklist. So you can go to happyrelationshipchecklist.com. There's one for singles and there's one for couples. But I found that there are 5 clues that you need to have a conscious relationship, a happy relationship. Number 1, be with someone who wants to be with you.
Which seems obvious.
Yeah,
That
it
person
seems
like
obvious, but
me. I
it's
was
so
the
like
person who only wanted you if you didn't want me.
exactly, because subconsciously it was safe because you promised yourself you will never be in that kind of
Yeah.
situation. So that's number 1. And I've seen, like, I had this woman come to see me, and the poor woman was not sleeping. She was not eating. She was obsessing because she met this guy, smells good, looks good, sexy. But he told her the first 10 minutes they met that he was not ready for a relationship because he had just broken up with his girlfriend and he was not ready. And then it
Mhm.
became her obsession to get him to prove herself that she was worthy of love, which is what subconsciously is going on. When you
Yeah.
obsess about trying to get someone who's not into you to be with you, it's because deep down, you're trying to prove to yourself worthy. And that's
Yeah.
an addiction.
Yep.
And that's dangerous. So that's why if you meet someone and they show you that they don't want to be with you, it's full stop for me. You do not go there. Because if you go down that rabbit hole, you're going to, you're just going to get stuck in there. It's really
Well,
hard
yeah,
to break
because the
out.
thing is like I got my husband in that manner. Like that's he was he would say that he would have committed sooner, but I was showing, crazy signs, which is true. But I don't think that's altogether true. But like the fact that I did have to earn him and do all these things, I
It
used to
tamed
say
you.
pieces of me, but I gave those pieces of myself away. But it was only through the healing later that I was able to even repair those because that stayed in between us. I mean, we've been together now since I don't know, like 15, 16 years, but it stayed in between us until I healed other parts of myself. And then I realized what that was and why I ever did that to begin with and whatever. But it was always the elephant in the room. It was like you didn't really love me. I just convinced you. You know what I mean?
And it was perfect for you because where you come from, it was scary. So you had to tame yourself. So you chose to go after someone who was telling you they was not ready for you because I was
Yep.
safer. Like, okay, I could maybe now I can try. This person doesn't really want me, so so that
Yeah. So much
so
effort too, in a way that I would never give someone who actually like showed interest in me.
exactly. Clue number two tip is be with someone who has a track record of being a good friend. So it is your utmost responsibility, and this is where your mom, you know, was going off. It's like only be, and maybe she was not the best friend either. Be with someone who wants the best for you, and you want the best for them. Like someone you can trust with your heart. Never, ever, ever give your heart on a silver platter before you know this person. Because this
Yeah.
is how you people get hurt. When we are desperate and we believe deep down we're not worthy of love, we latch on to the first person that's there just to make sure we're not alone, which is like desperation always brings really big challenges. So
Oh yeah, because
only
that's
give
what
your
fueled
heart.
all of my relationships. Yeah.
eh, Yeah, so any relationship, you're right, but especially your romantic life, and it takes a while to get to know somebody. Like that, for example, if you have a narcissist, at first they catch you with honey. Be
Mhm.
highly aware. So especially if you have a subconscious belief that relationships are dangerous, like subconsciously, you will be a really good target for that. You will go, wow, like this is so nice, like oh, like, and then it's too much, they do too much. It's too romantic. And then once they caught you, then they start to slowly undermine you and they start taking you away from your friends. So if you're listening to this, be highly aware. Do not give your heart on a silver platter. And listen to how they speak about their exes or their friends. Do they have friends? Do they have good friends? Like when the going gets tough with the people in their life, do they go running or are they there? So make sure they have a good track record of being a good friend.
Yeah.
Number 3, be with someone with similar core values because love will not be enough to be a life mate with someone that doesn't have similar core value. For example, let's say you want 4 kids and they don't want any kids.
Right, yeah. That's a
Like
little
you
tricky
can
to
love each
I'm
other,
ready.
you can be best friends with each other, but if you really have a deep desire for having 4 kids and they don't want any, it's not fair to you not to have your kids, and it's not fair to them not to have kids. It doesn't work.
Right.
So
Oh
we
my
need to
gosh.
understand what are my core values. Like, um, do you want monogamy or you want polygamy? That's a big one because some
Yeah.
some people
Damn.
don't believe in monogamy. So you need
Right.
to know that person. Like, don't give your heart on to this person until you know that you have some values that are, if you're into being healthy and into, eating junk food and not doing anything, like that can be very frustrating. If you love to travel and you want a companion to travel the world and they like to stay on the couch, like it doesn't matter. Like if you both of you like to be on the couch, it's funny because when my dad died, my mom ended up with a new man in her life. And he had a daughter that was married to a man. He was a couch potato, and she was a very active person. And and they had a couple of friends, and it was the reverse. So even though they were friends, they ended up switching partners because the two of them who were couch potatoes were happy together, and the two who were super active
That's
were
so
happy to be
great.
together. But you need to know what it is deep down you want. So
Yes, because I can't think of how many people well, shit, I did this too, but how many people, let's say they are lying to themselves and say they want something casual, okay? So they enter into a situationship and they're like, "No, but I don't I want casual too." And I think they are even at least a little aware that they're lying to themselves. And then the person does not check off a single item on their list of who they would want to have a committed, loving relationship with, and yet they will fully engage in this situationship and be brokenhearted when it goes exactly how it's predicted to go.
yes. And then they blame a relationship. They say it's not safe. It's not true.
Yes,
Like it's
exactly.
like if you are going, let's say, okay, so let's say you're really good at customer service, and then instead you're desperate because you have no money and you end up working in a computer company. And they mistreat their employees. They expect you to work 60 hours but pay you for 40. Do you think you would go and work in a place like this and try to change that culture? No. Don't go work for that
Right.
place. Like, find the
Yes.
place that's right for you. But often people go in a relationship because they don't know who they are, what makes them tick. They take the first thing that's there because they're desperate, and then they blame relationships. No, it's like it's not rocket science. That's why I wrote this happy relationship checklist. Number 4, be with someone who understands our relationship will face challenges. And through working through them, that's why I love doing the heart freedom method with couples, because like this couple that came to see me and she was so mad, like she was ready to leave him. After an hour, they were in love. Like they were understanding their patterns. They could understand what was happening. And once you understand why someone behaves the way they've been behaving, instead of taking it personally, you feel sorry for your partner because you feel, oh,
Yes.
poor baby. Like, I understand now why you were doing this. You were not doing this to me. You were doing this to protect yourself. So,
Yes, that's
bec-
something that we've experienced because he listens to my show, and I mean, because I was the one with all the narcissistic traits in this relationship. I mean, he's got plenty of his own flaws, don't play, but like I brought the crazy, crazy. I really did. But he we both,
but
I
you're
think
not
I
a
took
true
it to
narcissist.
Blake.
You're not a true narcissist because a true narcissist would never admit that.
No, but I did have lots of the traits,
Yeah.
lots.
Yeah.
And so I did used to blame him for things that were my fault, but now, like, it's more of like a, "Hey, this is what's coming up. This is how you can help me." And that's really helped us because he's not being attacked. And so, but I mean, to your earlier point about how we choose and why we choose, I mean, I realized that both through my intimate relationships and just friendships, like I was absolutely choosing people who would just confirm the bias that I already had. Like I'm choosing all these emotionally unavailable people because I myself am emotionally unavailable and I don't want to get close. So if I choose you and you also don't have the capacity to get close, then you can confirm that bias. But that's all subconscious. Consciously, I'm over here like, I want to connect and they don't want to connect with me.
You're you're so right. It's so true. That's so true. That's why I love doing this work, because you actually see the magic. Like, another example. This woman brings me her guy for me to fix him. Because imagine the guy moved from the Netherlands to live with her, and 9 months later he was still living in an apartment not with her.
Oh.
So again, I start with her.
Wrong news.
I'm ready, willing, and able to have him move in with me. And she was not okay because when she was 7 years old, her big sister had been sent into her room and had taken over, you know, her queendom.
Oh.
And when I tested him and I'm ready, willing, and able to move in with her, he was not okay, because when he was 7 years old, his twin brothers was doing the same thing to him.
Invading their space.
They needed their
Mm.
space subconsciously. So I fixed that. And like within a couple weeks, they moved in together. So,
Wow.
so again, it's like consciously, you really, really want to move in together. But the conscious part that wants this to be true is the size of a football. And the subconscious mind that's afraid, the football field.
Yes, I love that.
Football field. Like you say, you say, you profess that you want intimacy, the full Monty. You want the whole thing. Consciously, it's true. But subconsciously, mm-mm. And you have no control over it. You
Right.
cannot control it. It's there to keep us alive. Without the subconscious mind, we will all be dead. Like an extreme version of that. I had an Olympic level skier come to see me because she had not placed in 2 years. So imagine you're an Olympic level skier. You really, really, really want to win. Yes. Make sense? Like, especially if you're in Canada, you're an Olympic athlete level, you have no money. You sacrifice all your
Right?
social life. You have
Yeah.
no time for anything else, and you truly consciously want it. So I test her. I'm already willing and able to win. Subconsciously, she didn't want to win. Why? It went back again when she was 7. 7 is actually a pretty important year for most of us.
Yeah.
When she was 7, she was already winning, but her brothers were not. So her mom, not to upset her brothers, was hiding her medals and her trophies. So now,
Oh.
exactly. So now subconsciously, she had, connected winning with hurting other people's feelings.
Yeah.
So you know about Pavlov's dog. So now she's racing, Pavlovian bell is ringing, and her competitors, even her teammates, become like siblings.
Yeah.
So she was afraid of hurting other people's feelings. So
Yes.
consciously, I'm telling you, she really, really, really wanted to win, but subconsciously, she did not want to. So anyway, I had 2 sessions with her. We found out their story, but this one was so, big, and she ended up on
Yeah.
the podium right after.
So what
Because
are
at
you
at the
doing
sub
to help people integrate the things that they're, because like again, you can become more conscious of it, but until you kind of build that new neural pathway, your subconscious is going to be like,
that's
ah, who cares about that new learning? Let's protect ourselves. So
that's
what
what
are
the
you
heart
doing to,
method does.
okay, it
This
just
is
helps
what,
you
because you
integrate it?
cannot be conscious. It has to be subconscious. It has to be in your physiology. And then it has to be integrated in your heart. Because I have 2 psychiatrists that come to see me, 3 psychiatrists that come to see me. So they know, their head knows, but they came
Mm-hmm.
to see me because they know they needed to go deeper because it
Yeah.
doesn't stick otherwise. And it doesn't have to take 10,000 years of therapy. It takes 10 to 15 minutes. So
Yeah.
that's number 4, someone who understands all relationship will face challenges. And this is for me what I'm convinced. If you want to have a really good romantic relationship, it's not rocket science. First, you need to be conscious of what love is. And most people have no idea. That's why my podcast is called Soul Worthy Love. Love is safe. If it's not safe, it's not love. Because most people, because of what happened when we were growing up, I've associated loving someone with, like, a common one I have is little kids. I love my mommy so much, but because I love my mommy, she makes me do my dishes. She makes me do my bed. I have to do my homework. So I'm going to lose myself if I love someone a lot. So people are afraid of being engulfed, or
Yeah.
they're afraid of being abandoned. Like, I did this, my mom was mad at me, I couldn't handle it. And now, so people oscillate between, again, the two duality. Either I'm going to be engulfed or I'm going to be abandoned. So you have to consciously understand what love is. So first, you need to know what love is. Second, you need to have a tool to deal with the subconscious mind. There's the conscious and the subconscious. Those 2 things for everything in your life, for your career, for your finances, for being able to stand in front of a group and speak or doing podcasts, all of these things, you as a human being, all of us need to be consciously aware and subconsciously have a tool like the heart freedom method to free ourselves. Otherwise, you feel depressed. There are
Mm-hmm.
there are 3 clues you have a subconscious belief working against you. Number 1, you know what needs to be done, but you're not doing it. Oh, if I spoke to my husband about this, it would be a lot better. But instead, you go out with your girlfriends, or
Right.
you call up your sister, something. Number 2, you do what needs to be done, but it's so hard. You have to use all your willpower. And that's exhausting. It's
Yes.
okay when you have just a report to do, and instead of taking you an hour, it takes you 3 hours. But what if you're building a business and it's taking you 3 years, and every day you're fighting against that? That's exhausting. Number 3, and that one really frustrates people, is that you follow all the recipe, what the guru tells you, you're disciplined, you're courageous, you're driven, you do everything right, but then you get the opposite results.
Mm-hmm.
Like my Olympic level skier.
Right.
So that's depressing. So you have to understand, when you're in a relationship, you met actually because you have similar stories attracting you. It's never one is good and the other one is bad. Both of us, when we're in a relationship, we attract the perfect person through which, if we do our work, we're going to heal our heart.
Yeah.
So that's why when I do the work here with clients one-on-one, I love it. It's like I get goosebumps, like the hair raises at the back of my head. Like, it's like, wow. It's like
Yeah.
watching the magic of the universe. Like, these 2 people are beautiful. They've had a similar pain happen to them, similar stories, and through connecting with each other, they're learning how to love, because Those of you listening right now, remember this. The aim of a relationship is not to make you happy or miserable. The aim of a relationship is to teach you how to love, because when you love, you feel happy. So a relationship is not going to make you happy. And then more like you yourself face challenges. You're not always on a high, and your partner is not always on a high. So how can we expect that a relationship is always going to be on a high and they live happily ever after? That's such baloney. No, nobody has only ups and no downs, because through the ups and the downs, that's how we can learn about ourselves, about love, loving ourselves, no matter what's happening, learning to become.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so beautiful. So the aim of a relationship is not to make you happy or miserable. The aim of a relationship is to teach you how to love yourself, how to love another being, because when you love, you feel happy. So a relationship will make you happy, but not because you get a prince or a princess coming and sweep you off your feet and making everything okay, because it's not the job of your partner to make you happy. It is
Right,
not
and if you
the
haven't learned how to, like, sit with yourself and make yourself happy, that's when your relationship hits the mundane place in the crest. I mean, it doesn't have to be a bad thing, it's just static, and that's life. I mean, sometimes things are just going, along a course, but if you haven't learned how to sit with yourself, be happy with yourself, love yourself, when your relationship is overall the chemical highs that you get in the beginning and you're deep in the middle of it, the mundane will kill it because you'll look for problems. You'll feel lonely when there's not loneliness, like because all of a sudden you feel like this other person should fill every void in your life. And I think that was a big lesson for me. And the more I cultivated that self love, I finally, like, one day was like, "Oh, you do love me. Okay, my bad." Because I was so convinced he didn't, like, because of
That's
the
because you did
things
not
I had.
love you.
No, I didn't, not at all, and
And
that
you
was
know
not
where
something
that
I could see.
do you know where that comes from most of the time? Because I've done this with so many people, is when we were born, often we were put, in the nursery. And you're scared. You've been 9 months with this being, and so now you're crying. You're crying, 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 and nobody's coming. So now you try again, and nobody comes. And now you start thinking something must be wrong with me. Nobody can come right now and make me feel safe and loved and worthy of love. And then you cry and cry and cry and cry. And then it hurts so much. So now you stop asking for what you want.
Mhm.
So now we feel all this anxiety, all this void because we didn't get it. When you're a baby, it's okay to want that. As an adult, now you're stuck looking for your mommy, whether you're a man or a woman.
Yep.
When you haven't learned to self-nurture, which as baby does not know how to do, and it's okay,
Right.
it's normal, then we look for a partner because the Pavlovian bell rings, because our partner is our most intimate relationship. So
Mhm.
you can be conscious with your friends, you can be conscious in your career, with the bank manager, but then you become a total baby with your partner because the Pavlovian bell is ringing, and then
Mhm.
he or she is not there to nurture you, and then you go, they don't love me.
Yes. It's making more sense.
It makes
For
a lot
sure.
of sense, doesn't it?
No, it's so true because, like, I am so conscious with every other area of my life, and then with him, it's just like, "No, this is just fundamentally bad," and it's not. I know that it's not, but I'm like, "Build the wall, build the wall, build the wall."
Yeah, so it sounds like the only thing you need to do, because you have the conscious part, just need a tool like the heart freedom method to get rid of the subconscious belief. Because in a relationship, to be happy, like, let's say this ring, like this circle is you and the other circle is your partner. If we try to get somebody, our partner, to be there when we want them to be there, to go away when we don't want them to be there. Like, leave me alone, come when I need you. Like, we're basically asking them to sacrifice their life for us. And as you can see, if you have two circles on top of each other, like one is redundant. So this always leads to this, which often leads to amazing makeup sex. So you go from being over together to being apart to bringing us together, which is the reason why also sex is often very amazing in the beginning, because it's the only thing keeping us together. And then as our hearts open too much, and more, now we're like, ooh, intimacy, sexual intimacy is very dangerous. So now we go, ah! So it's so important to understand the dynamics that two happy people together can live happily ever after. One happy person with a miserable person creates lots of drama. And two miserable people together, that's never going to go anywhere. Unless, and I truly believe that if you have two people willing to work on a relationship, it will work out. No matter how bad it was, if both are committed to consciously grow, you can actually make it happen. But often it's not going to happen because one person is not in there because it was good for the other person who didn't want to be too close.
Yeah.
So that was number 4. Number 5 is a good sexual connection, whatever it means for you, because some couples are asexual, and it's okay if both partners are asexual, no problem. They love hugging and kissing, but they don't want more than that. That's okay. But that's often also because deep down they're afraid of having an open heart and a good sexual connection. All right. If you have two people highly sexual together, that's great. If you have one person who's sexual and the other one is not sexual, the one who's not sexual doesn't get to win. And the one who's
Yeah.
highly sexual doesn't get to win either. So, my definition of love is wanting the best for our partner while respecting our needs. So now it's about finding a common ground. And usually through doing that part about sexuality, that's when we let go of all the stories that we have because we've been scared of love. So it's a whole
Mhm.
journey. This is why I love working with um, romantic relationship. Like when someone is single, you can find love for sure. If you're single, it's not because you can't have love, it's because you're scared of it. And when you're in a
Mhm.
relationship, if you don't like, people think sometimes, oh, I'll just get a divorce. Having a divorce is not fun. It
No,
costs,
nor
it
is it
costs
easy.
it's not easy. People think, oh, that's enough, and they leave out of resentment. Whenever you leave something out of resentment, you always end up paying the price, because wherever you go, here you are. So whatever you haven't learned about yourself is just going to show up again. It costs a lot of money. You lose half your assets. Like the pain, the whole thing is like, yes, learning to work on your relationship is challenging. Yourself to do the work is challenging, but then you feel really good about yourself. And if you take
Mhm.
the easy way out and you think, oh, I'm just going to leave them, well, you're going to pay a price. There's nothing in life that comes with more pleasure than pain, or more pain than pleasure. You either choose to challenge yourself to grow in love and wisdom and you're happy, or you take the easy way out and pay the price. Like nothing comes with more pleasure than pain.
So true. Well, and they're mirrors of each other.
Yes, it's beautiful. Like, that's why I love doing this work. I have I train coaches in my method. I train regular people. I have an online program called Get Unstuck with Dr. Lise, and I teach people how to do this work in each area of life. So you become masterful. You can do it. Like, I have a 4-year-old that can do it, so it's not complicated.
Yeah.
Her mom has been doing it with her since she was a little kid, so she's 4 years old. She can do it. So when what you're doing right now is learning how to grow in love and wisdom is what's going to make you truly happy, doing both the conscious part and the subconscious part. That's the missing link. That's why just before I was on the call, because I'm learning how to speak about this online, because my whole life I've been doing my work with word of mouth referrals. But with the book that's going to come out with Jack Canfield, I have a goal to heal the hearts of 1 million people. So if I want to do that, I have to learn to speak about what I do in a way people understand it. And my
Yeah.
challenge I have is that most people don't understand there's a reason why they're not getting what they want in life. They just think they're unlucky. It's not true. It's not because you're
Right.
unlucky. It's
Well, and
because
they refuse to believe they're wrong.
yeah, there's something is wrong
Mhm.
with them. Other people can have it. And they were born for, the small place in life.
Or
But
or
that's not
they
true.
just have bad luck.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that.
Mhm.
It's not that. So I'm learning to speak about what I do because most people are not aware. There's a reason why they're not getting what they want, but also they're not aware that there's a solution. That's why I'm very grateful when I get to do a podcast like with you, because that's my mission is I want to bring happiness in the world. Like I was
Okay.
not born in a easy family. Like everything I have, I had to learn to do it myself. I'm actually a really good manifester. Like when I put my mind to something, I can
Are
manifest it
you?
quite well, except the places in my life where I have a subconscious belief working against me. So I can guarantee you, I know firsthand why things for me are easy to manifest and some things were not easy to manifest. And that's one of the reasons I love this work because it's one of my very good tools. It's like if you're going to build a house, having a hammer is a really good tool. And the heart fit method is a really, really good tool. It's the missing tool and most people don't know.
Is this the work that you had to do on yourself to kinda overcome your childhood?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, there is nothing more powerful than your own alchemy. Like, you learned how to get through things and transmute it and then sharing that with others. That's what this show is for me, and all the other things I do is the work. I mean, granted, I'm evolving clearly. Like, there's still more, I'm discovering new blocks every day, but I think that's part of my journey is to be in the moment, learning stuff all the time and sharing in real time what I'm learning. That's part of like my magic. But the people that I talk to that are like you, that they went through this themselves. This is the work they did on themselves and now they're sharing with others. It, there is, I'll just say it this way, there's like a little spell of love on those things, and when you speak about them, they do touch. I mean, I have no doubt that you will change millions of hearts with your work because
Thank you.
it's so personal to you, and it works because it worked for you, and you're seeing every time you work with the client or clients that you just get proof, like, and not that you even need the proof anymore, but even me, like, just a couple years into working with other people doing the work that I did on myself, every time someone has an aha, I'm like, I mean, I know. I know. It's, like, so good.
And you know what's cool about that is it makes it worth it. Okay, so that's another okay, that's another thing I discovered from doing this work. Like after working with thousands of people, you start seeing patterns. So what I see is that there are two stages to human development. Stage one, I call it the boot camp. And then stage two, I call it creating heaven on earth. So everyone has to go through the boot camp. And the difference between stage one and stage two is that in stage one, we get a sense of self from the way the world reacts to us. If it reacts to us in the way we like, I'm queen and king of the world. I can have anything I want. But when the world does not react to us the way we want them, we create stories. And they're only stories. It's not the truth. Whether the world is reacting to you the way you like or don't like, you're still worthy of love. And that's
Yeah.
the inner work we have to let go of. That's why doing the heart freedom method is important. So what happens is that because we're in pain, let's say, for example, that your sister is really good in math at school and you were not good at math. So maybe you became a jock, or you became very artistic just to compensate. You don't realize that you were born with the perfect siblings, with the perfect parents to be a driver. Because when we're in stage one, what we do basically is we run away from pain towards pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
And through that boot camp, that specific boot camp you were born into, you have developed interest, talents, qualities, friends, networks that are pure result of you being unconscious in stage one, which is perfect. But you don't want to stay stuck in stage one. And if you remember in the olden days when they had spaceships going in the atmosphere, they would be these gigantic rockets and they would be two fuel stages, and then there will be a little capsule. So the first fuel stage would push, disconnect, the second would push, disconnect, and then the capsule would be in the stratosphere. Stage one is the driver, it's this catalyst, and it pushes us, and it's important. But if you don't disconnect from the illusion that something is wrong with you for this to have happened, you come back. You can never able to take off into stage two. So stage two, you get your sense of self from your own self. This is the yin, this is the yang. So it's actually a really good visual for this. The yin is the female part, the female principle. Whether you're a man or a woman, you still have that. And the yin wants you to know two things. It wants you to listen. So the yin is about listening. Your heart wants you to know two things. The first thing it wants you to know is you're worthy of love. The second thing it wants from you, it wants you to admit your dreams and aspirations. And then it's about getting yourself into action, the yang, to give your heart what it wants.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're in a relationship and we're looking for a partner to do it for us, it doesn't work. Often, if a woman comes to see me and she's got a list this long of all the things her partner is not doing correctly, I say, so how's your career going? Well, usually it's not going that well. So that's why the difference here is in stage two, you're consciously creating your life. You listen to your heart. You know you're worthy of love. You admit your dreams and aspiration, and then you make things happen. So now the game is a different kind of game, because the game here is, all right, I know I'm going to know that I'm worthy of love. I'm going to take this action, and then you're going to see whether it works or doesn't work. You're going to get clues. Am I procrastinating? Is it harder than it needs to be? Or am I getting the opposite results? So you move forward, realize, I have a subconscious belief working against me. You do the heart freedom method. You go to the next level. You take a and this is the way you create an amazing life for yourself. I've been playing this game since 1989. And I feel I'm living heaven on earth, not because I don't have challenges. I have lots of challenges, but it's
Right.
fun. It's a different
Yeah.
game because I'm conscious, because I have a statement of purpose for my life. I know what I want to create. And every day I enter the matrix and I play the game that I want to be playing. And I'm watching the clues and I'm making things happen. So stage one is necessary, no matter. Okay, last thing, because I keep talking. I found
No, you're good.
there's three. I created this just as an analogy. So some people were born into what I call a musical boot camp. Life was easy, family dynamics were easy, but when you graduate from a musical boot camp, you're not really, equipped for real life. Life's gonna come, and now you're not equipped
It
for it.
so is. It so
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Some of us were born into an athletic boot camp. So it was support and challenge, support and challenge. It made us stronger, but we still got many opportunities to create the illusion that something was wrong with us. And then some of us were born into what I call the Navy SEAL boot camp, super hard. But if you graduate from the Navy SEAL boot camp, you're a superhero. So
I resonate with that.
you were born into the Navy SEAL, but
Yeah.
my best clients, my best ones, the ones that can really make a difference in the world, there were at least a 2 or often a 3. You were born into the family dynamics, into the stage one that you needed because you have something big to do in the world. And by really transforming this story that something must have been wrong with me for me to having been born in such challenging situation, you free your heart, which is why I called it the heart freedom method. And now you can play the game of creating heaven on earth for yourself and other with a lot less resistance. Now it's a new game. It's a conscious game. It's a fun game to play.
Yeah. It, yeah. It it has brought me great joy to see how much control I really do have, and the way in which I have victimized the shit out of myself for lots of years, without having a single clue. But yeah, I absolutely believe, like, the bigger the purpose on your life, the more pain you're gonna be put through because, well, sunshine and rainbows don't grow or evolve us, you know? So, like, I really, I mean, I feel lucky because I felt that calling for a big purpose at like 4. I look back at several incremental points in my life where I believe my higher self was guiding me and saying, like, this is going to be important. And I mean, I recognize the voice now, so I can look back and go, oh, I know exactly what that was. But I feel lucky that I listened because I have known I was going to continue to experience pain and then transmute it. But thankfully, the pain of adulthood has been of my own doing. I mean, like I mean, because I did get to a place where I cut off most contact with my family of origin. I mean, my parents and the grandmother who raised me are gone. They've been gone for a long time. Um I just don't, like, spend time with people who aren't ready to go where I've gone, you know? But uncovering layer after layer through things that aren't as painful now, like, but I can see where I'm blocking myself, that's where the fun is. Like, if I'm not having to go through, like, the worst shit possible, like, I've already done that, thank you, and now I'm just seeing how I'm so protecting myself, it's fun. It's fun to uncover it. And I feel a lot more control, so.
Yeah, it's a big journey and it's fun. It's inspiring. One of my mentors says, "When you're green, you grow. When you're ripe, you rot."
Oh my god, that's so true. So
So
true.
we keep growing. That's why we're gonna live long, happy lives when we're not
That's right.
stagnating.
That's right. Well, man, I have loved having you today, like, truly, truly, truly. Where can we find you, and when does this book come out?
The book with Jack is going to come out next year. It's going to be called Unstuck. We still haven't decided about the subtitle.
Okay.
People can also download my book. I have my book, Conversation with the Heart. It's a
And
really
is that
good book,
found on
which helps.
Amazon?
Yep, you can find it on
Okay.
Amazon. But if you go also conversationwiththeheart.com, you can buy it directly. If you want the ebook, you can buy it directly from my website. And if you want the
Perfect.
hardcover, then Amazon will send it to you. The other thing is if you want to, I have the Get Unstuck checklist. You can go Get Unstuck the checklist.com. And if you want the relationships, it's called happyrelationshipchecklist.com. And we can, guide you. You can contact us, info@drlisejanelle.com, and we can have conversation with Greg or one of my staff, and we can guide you into, we have programs for all the places people are at in their lives. But if what we said today resonates with you, if you're willing to create consciously an amazing heaven on earth for yourself and others, and you understand the conscious part and you need the subconscious part, that's why we are here. We're here to support you, guide you, and help you live an amazing life.
Absolutely. Man, thank you so much. And I will include whatever you have on Podmatch to in the links for the show notes, but I'll try to remember to add each of those other 3 links that you said too, cuz I'm going to check them out. So,
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm
Thank
going to
you.
push stop if you'll hang out for 1 second.
Yep.
Thanks for coming to Emotionally Unavailable. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and share.